Hey everybody, it's Aldo Gandia, and I just want to let you know really quickly that our swag shop is reopened. DeepDishTees.com is where you go, and that's tees with T-E-E-S. Clever name, guys. They're the new home of our merchandise. You can get t-shirts, you can get caps, you can get coffee mugs, you can get hoodies, you can get all sorts of good stuff, and you'll help out the bar room with the purchase. So head over to DeepDishTees.com. Hello, everyone. I'm Aldo Gandia. Welcome to Bear Football. And I got to start off by saying that my blood pressure right now is so high, I think I'm just going to freaking blow up. There's going to be blood and guts all over the place because that second quarter and that last series in particular was just what a fantastic opportunity we had to have the lead at halftime, but blunders after blunders after blunders, and it's just incredibly frustrating. Now, if you're wondering why I'm here alone, it is because John Buffone has the day off to attend to some personal business, and Tyler Ellis and Danny Shimon are going to join me on the post-game show, I should say the after-game show. So I'm just going to provide a few quick thoughts here and interact with you and get your thoughts as to what's going on. But I got to tell you that, we knew that there were going to be some growing pains with Justin Fields, and nothing, was more painful than this play. A-Rob wide open over the middle. Justin Fields should have seen him. He was harassed in the backfield, but he's made these throws over and over again. One of them was ostensibly intercepted in the end zone there towards the end. It looked like an interception to me. It was, thank goodness, the call on the field was incomplete, because if it would have been the other way around, I thought that there was perhaps enough evidence not to change it. But there's no reason why Justin Fields didn't unleash this ball to a wide open A-Rod and the Bears take a 14-10 lead into the half. That was just so frustrating to me. There were other frustrating moments too, but the good news is that the Bears are only trailing 14-10 at the half and have a great opportunity here to come out in the third quarter, score a touchdown, and take the lead on this game. The game started off so promising. The Bears defense was just getting the job done, and they're pressuring Aaron Rodgers with just a four-man rush. For instance, let me show you this Quinn sack. What do you notice about the Robert Quinn sack in the first quarter? It's just a four-man rush. Everybody's dropping back. The other guys are dropping back, and Rodgers is going down with a four-man rush. That is so critical to beating Aaron Rodgers. You got to get pressure on him with the four-down linemen, and the Bears were doing that for the majority of the first half, and they got to get back to that in the second half. The defense had some miscues. Clearly, the officials are not on the side of the Bears. How often do we say that? It's almost like a weekly thing, right? Although the officials did make a couple of bad calls for the Packers too. I thought that pass interference call, the offensive pass interference call, I didn't see it on the camera angle that was provided by Fox TV, which is another thing that I'm going to bitch and moan about for the millionth time, is why don't they have more camera angles on such an important game? This is like a Super Bowl game for Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers fans. Why they only have one decent look of that so-called OPI and some of the other plays that should have been reviewed. I don't get it. So it's incredibly frustrating, which is why my blood pressure is so damn high right now. So let me see what some of the people are saying. Laz is saying, yeah, Justin Fields did look like a rookie. Caesar is saying, seriously, we can't play fundamental football. And there is a lot of truth to that. Fundamentally, the Bears always seem to be a bit for lack of a better way, off. I was going to use a different word, but I won't with all the political correct crowd out there. Not that I give a shit, but Mule says, not a good first half by Justin. Poor decisions by him and erratic throwing is killing any hope of winning the game. No, Mule, you are right with the first half of what you wrote there, but the second half is we still have hope to win this game. The thing about a guy like Justin Fields is that he can quickly correct these mistakes. Every mistake that you saw him make in that first half, he could completely eradicate them. What he needs is good play calling, which for the most part, I think he's getting. He needs a good pass protection for the most part, and he's getting, and he needs to just kind of calm down and see what the defense is giving. And that's where he's having some problems. Perhaps the bigness of this game. Now, this guy has played in major stages, major games, which is one of the reasons we were all excited to get him with the Chicago Bears, because unlike the previous quarterback that was drafted in the first round, he had not had those major experiences. But this quarterback, Justin Fields, has, and so I expect him to come out in the second half and show progression. What else is being said here? Ralph Love says, Justin Fields is not ready. Here we go again. I think he's a bad quarterback. Ralph, I can understand the frustration, but he is not a bad quarterback. You have to put this in context. Every other rookie quarterback played exactly like Justin Fields has played to this point of the season. And in fact, maybe even worse. And it took them, all those rookie quarterbacks, it took them 4 or 5 games to get to a level where they're performing at a much better clip. And so you have to lay that same kind of expectation on Justin Fields. He isn't going to get it right away. We all knew there were going to be growing pains. So give the guy a break. Let's see what Beth has to say. Don't know what is going on with Fields. Not the kid I watched at OSU. Yeah, it's frustrating, but again, we've got another half of football against the Green Bay Packers team that offensively, they're not the Green Bay Packers team we've seen of other years. This Bears defense can come out there and, in fact, turn over the ball. Get a fumble sack on Aaron Rodgers. Get an interception. It was really just one really bad play on defense, and that was the one that Jalen Johnson got flat-footed on that Devontae Adams big pass rush. Also, there was that 36, 38-yard run by Corey Dillon. That should have never happened. So there were 2, maybe 3 bad plays by the defense, but against the Packers offense, you're going to expect them to win some of the battles, but you have to go back to this Bears offense. A lot of people talked about that the Bears need to score 20-plus points in order to win this game. 7 in the first half isn't going to get it done, particularly when you had opportunities to score on those plays. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat room. Really appreciate you being here. I never said I gave up on Fields, but he stunk up the first half. Got you, Mule. I appreciate the correction. I apologize. Censored says Bears fans have zero patience, knee-jerk reactions all the time. It gets old, you clowns. All right. I'm not sure if he's referring to me as a clown, but I have been called a clown many times. Caesar says Fields needs to know when to hand the ball off or keep it. Seems like some of these RPOs Fields could have got some yards. I agree with that. It is at the NFL level, sometimes those RPOs, which college quarterbacks have had a lot of success with, at the NFL level, it becomes a little bit more difficult because you're seeing more sophisticated defense, because you're seeing better athletes and so forth. But that's another thing that I think is almost guaranteed that Justin Fields is going to get better at. Let's see what Hector Zambrano says. Bench Fields, bring in Dalton. Fields is playing like a bonehead. Well, that's an interesting thing, because I actually thought about if Andy Dalton would have started this game, would the Bears be trailing? I don't think so. But that was part of the bargain that we made to get him in there, knowing that he was going to have certain flaws and growing pains. And so my hope as a diehard Chicago Bears fan, I'm going to look at this as the glass half full, but in actuality, it's not. I'm going to look at this as a growing lessons for Justin Fields, and then the second half, he's going to take off. Earl says, our secondary is a dumpster fire too. Yeah, I put this play up on Twitter. I want to talk about it just very quickly here. This is the touchdown that the Packers scored on the man, my goodness, it's not letting me play, but the play that I put up was Eddie Jackson at the goal line stand. He was lined up over the left guard in the defensive backfield. The play was going to the left. He got over to the gap that he was supposed to plug. He got over in time, but he was slow to get to the gap. We know Eddie is not the most determined tackler, and he gets there a little bit late and without the force needed to stop the ball carrier, and that led to that touchdown that the Packers scored on the ground. So there are some issues with the Bears defensive backs, but you first have to win the game at the line of scrimmage, and right now we're seeing some signs that could happen. Vinny is here. Hey, Vinny, it's nice to see JF pop up after taking a big hit, but it's not nice seeing him take those big hits. It's worrisome. Couldn't have said it better, Vinny. It is. It seems like every game he is taking some vicious hits, and it was, to me, incredible how he got up so quickly with a smile on his face. He got hit helmet to helmet, which was not a penalty, of course, because he was sliding. He was a ball carrier. Well, it could have been a penalty, I should say. But it wasn't. It was called. They're kicking off. So I'm going to cut my thought here. Kickoff, the Bears get the ball. Let's score on this first possession, and let's win this game. We will be back here immediately after the game to talk Bears football and hopefully a win. Take care now.